Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue exploring remainders, and we're going to practice a couple problems that will let us get to know remainders a little bit more and see how we can get a little practice in for calculating remainders. So I have a problem up on the screen already, 8 divided by 2. Now the protocol for calculating numbers that don't perfectly divide is we first try to get as close to, we write the multiplication problem that corresponds to the division problem. So in this case, let's start by writing it as 2 times blank is equal to 8. Now, since we have it in this form, our next goal is to try to find the number that fits in this blank that gets as close to 8 as possible without going over it. So for 2, well, in this case, you can see that we can divide perfectly into 8. So the number that goes here is 4. And so 8 divided by 2 is also equal to 4. It worked out well in this example. Now let's try another one. 8 divided by 3 is equal to blank. The corresponding problem is 3 times a number is equal to 8. And this one doesn't work out perfectly. So now we're going to try to get as close to 8 as possible without going over it. The closest we can get is 3 times 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. Now, to calculate the remainder, what we do is 8 minus 6. The remainder is 2. So our answer is going to be 2, remainder 2. And this answer comes from, here's the answer, and here is the remainder. Let's try this again with a different problem. Let's try 18 divided by 3. Now the corresponding problem is 3 times blank is equal to 18. In this case, it seems to work out perfectly because 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So 18 divided by 3 is equal to 6. Now let's try 18 divided by 4. The corresponding problem is 4 times blank is equal to 18. This doesn't work out perfectly, so we're going to try to get as close to 18 as we can without going over it. And the closest that we can get is 4 times 4, which equals 16. Now we have to subtract to find the remainder. So 18 minus 16 is equal to 2. And our answer is going to be 4, remainder 2. And here's where the 4 came from, and here's where the 2 remainder came from. Now let's try another problem. 30 divided by 6. The corresponding multiplication problem is 6 times blank is equal to 30. In this case, it works out perfectly because 6 times 5 is equal to 30. So 30 divided by 6 is equal to 5. Now let's try 30 divided by 7. The multiplication problem that goes along with this is 7 times blank is equal to 30. And it doesn't divide equally, so we're trying to find a number multiplied by 7 that gets as close to 30 as possible without going over it. And that number is 7 times 4. And 7 times 4 is 28. Now we subtract. 30 minus 28 is equal to 2. So our answer is going to be 4, remainder 2. And the 4 came from here, while the remainder comes from here. That concludes our practice with remainders. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.